And we're live. 3, 2, 1. All right.
Hi, everybody.
Let me not trip.
Yeah, don't trip, huh? Don't spill your drink.
So we've never done live before.
Let's cheers.
Cheers. I don't know if this is even working. We'll find out later.
We don't know either.
But I think we have a backup system.
Okay.
I hope.
All right.
Anyway, we are WT, USAT Data and Facts. And I'm Stephanie. This is Dawn. And we're going to talk about the 2023 World Taekwondo and USAT, a summary for 2023.
Yeah. All the good stuff that happened, maybe some of the not so good stuff. And what's the outlook for next year?
Yeah, well, because we're unaffiliated and nobody pays us, we're kind of honest.
We try to be. We try to be very honest. And sometimes it gets us in trouble.
It does. But we are more objective than I think people who are, invested, more financially invested in the sport.
Yeah.
But anyway, a couple announcements before we get into the good stuff. We want to thank David Chang for these wonderful banners. Thank you, David Chang. And I'll let you kind of give a summary about that.
David sent us a big box of banners from World Taekwondo Championships, and the very first one, all the way through number 9, as well as the very first demonstration sport at the Olympics in 1988 in Seoul. And a whole host of other things, U.S. National Championships, World Cup, etc. Too many to mention. But thank you very much. A lot of them are on display here, and we love them.
Yeah, they're beautiful, and Don put them up yesterday, and we're very excited. Another announcement, we wanted to just briefly mention that as far as posting in the group, since we're close to about 12,000 members now. We want to keep it to the rules and not advertisements for like local club training and seminars. We do promote world class athlete, world class coaches and referee sanctioned, USAT sanctioned and World Taekwondo sanctioned tournaments. We will always promote those, but if they're not USAT, which is Olympic sanctioned, or World Taekwondo tournaments, we are not going to be posting those. So
okay,
just thought I'd mention that.
And what about AAU?
Oh well, so AAU we love AAU. AAU is a fantastic organization, and but they are not Olympic sanctioned, and there are no points for AAU with USAT. So therefore, there's no rankings for the athletes, and they do use KPMP, which I love because we're not big Dado fans, having used it for many years and seeing the shit show this year.
We got more to say about that.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. But yes, we love AAU, but because they are not sanctioned and they're not USAT and there are no points given to the athletes, we really want to focus on World Taekwondo and USA Taekwondo.
Yeah.
So
let's get into it.
All right. Where do you want to start today?
Let's start right at the top here.
U.S. Open in February.
Yeah. So we went to the U.S. Open in Las Vegas.
Yeah. And
the turnout was decent. It was better than it has been, but still not up to the standards of the late teens, the 2014 through 19 in Las Vegas, and there was one in Reno. So we're going to say something about Reno. The international athletes came back in a big way, though. And, of course, they dominated. The U.S., we got 3 medals, gold by CJ, silver by Elena Viana in heavyweight, and bronze by Madeline Gorman-Shore. But the internationals swept everything else because there was way more, and they're tough.
Who were the Americans that represent other countries that also medaled?
That's a great question. He did not medal.
I thought he got...
He did not. He lost to a Korean. And he might have got a bronze.
No, he went in the finals.
Was it the final?
It was the final, so
he
got silver. And it was because of Dado. I remember making a big old post about that.
I'm so sorry.
I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I remember because I was upset because there was like 3 head kicks of his that didn't count. There was like 6 points and he ended up losing.
I think it was the final. I think it was the final. You're right.
So he got a silver.
Yeah. I didn't come prepared to talk about, non-USA athletes.
They're American. I know.
Yeah. So that's one. I don't think there's anybody else. Is there anybody else?
Was Lee. Did she?
Yes. Anna Lee, she fought Madeline and lost her first fight.
Oh, okay. So she didn't. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay, so, well, I mean, there's something else to say.
About USA.
Yeah, USA, you know.
US Open and
it's a tough event, and so everybody needs to go, even if it's in Reno, because next year it's in Reno in February. And last time, in 2016, what happened is that 2014 was Vegas, 2015 was Orlando, and 2016 was Reno, and that's when the big plunge off in participation by everybody, U.S. especially, but also internationals, went down. So this is in 2014.
Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah.
2014, there were 750 seniors at the U.S. Open in Las Vegas. In Orlando in 2015, there were 601. That's quite a drop. And then in Reno in 2016, which we went to, our daughter was competing, 601, with a big drop off by everybody, especially, you know, internationals. Internationals love Vegas. They can tolerate Orlando, but that's sort of an American thing with Disneyland and all that, Universal Studios. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens in Reno next year.
Well, you were saying, I don't know, was it yesterday or the day before, that U.S. Open is actually more difficult than the Pan Am Games, which is a G4, and the U.S. Open is only a G2.
That's right.
But it's more international, so you have higher, larger talent pools coming.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to put it. The Pan Americans, frankly, and sorry to say, Pan American athletes, you're just not up to the Asian and European standards. So when the Asians and Europeans show up, they're going to win a lot of medals.
Now, Don, how can you say that? Is that based on data and facts?
That's based on data and facts. And so, and you know, this happens everywhere. And, you know, there's very few, we'll get to the Grand Prix later, but there's very few Pan American athletes that ever win gold at a Grand Prix. This year, Skylar Park from Canada won a gold at Taiwan. But it's extremely rare for a, you know, Pan American, you know, American, Mexican, Brazilian, Canadian, whatever, to win a gold. Just winning a medal at a Grand Prix is a huge deal, and we're going to talk about that.
Yes. And also because it's in Reno this year, and this is just my hypothesis, that there will be less internationals coming.
Right.
So Americans, Taekwondo athletes, I think it's a very good opportunity. Make sure you go to Reno to U.S. Open this year because it's a G2. That's a lot of points, World Taekwondo points, that also go towards USAT points. It's the only international
G event,
World Taekwondo sanctioned that USAT also allows the points to be used as USAT. So it will help you get ranked higher if you do well in USA Taekwondo.
Right. And the week before, and we're going.
Yes,
we're going. The week before the U.S. Open is the Canada Open in Vancouver, my old hometown.
Yes, the Canadian Open.
And Vancouver. We're going to go. So we want to see everybody in Vancouver, and a week later we want to see everybody in Reno.
Yes.
The two best cities in North America.
Now, we know from last year, hopefully USAT will have live video. But see, Canada, which is also a G2, same ranked as the U.S. Open.
And easier.
They didn't even have live video last year. So we're going, and I'm going to try and do some Facebook Live video.
Perfect.
Oh, I actually have a YouTube account, too. We could probably do YouTube Live. Yeah. I'll bring both my iPads. But, yeah, make sure you, U.S. athletes, please go to the Canada Open and the U.S. Open. These are G2 points, and I think it's... I won't say easy pickings, but... No,
it's not. There's going to be internationals there, but not as many as the U.S. Open.
Right.
Although this year, with Reno, it may be the same people.
Right, because, like, with U.S. Open, you get the USAT points, along with they're not calling it Grand Prix anymore, thank God. They're calling it regionals.
Oh, yeah.
So you got U.S. Open points, regional points, and national points.
Right.
That can be used to, you know, get higher ranked in the USA, which could possibly get you in the academy, on the national team.
That helps your seeding for the 2025 national team.
Yes.
Which would be Worlds.
Yes.
So, yeah, there you go. So, yeah, let's move on to, speaking of Worlds, let's talk about Worlds.
From this 2023
year.
Worlds.
Baku, Azerbaijan.
Yep.
and it's been there. Azerbaijan is a big Taekwondo place. So let's talk about the good news. The good news is CJ won a silver. Yay! In men's minus 80.
Congratulations,
Way to go,
CJ
CJ.
Nicholas.
No other American medals. The best other performance was a quarterfinal finish. And I believe that was Michael Rodriguez in minus 87.
Wasn't that Anastasia? She lost
Anastasia
in
was
the
not there.
quarterfinals.
Anastasia did not qualify
thinking
57.
last year, aren't I?
She was replaced.
I'm thinking last year.
Yes. And yeah, that was a quarterfinal for her.
Yeah, because it was late. It was like in November.
Yeah, they were pretty close together. Guadalajara and Baku were only about 5 months apart. So anyway,
Let's not talk about
that, the good news was CJ. The not so good news is the U.S. finished 11th out of the big major countries. Korea, Turkey, and Croatia and Uzbekistan were the top 4. Maybe let's leave it at that. We got a ways to go to get back to, let's call it dominance. You want to dominate in 28? Well, we're nowhere near that, so don't get ahead of yourself in thinking that we are. We're doing good. We've got a few individual athletes that are doing great, but and the coaches are doing great. We got some people in the pipeline. That's good, but nobody else is standing still either. So lots of ways to go.
And now Russia's back in the picture.
And Russia.
Under AIN.
Oh, yeah.
West Sahara.
No. They were Western Sahara.
Sorry. Now they're
the some islands in the Pacific.
that we don't know if
I've
they
never even
can
heard of them.
even do fight-offs.
Yeah, we don't know if they're going to qualify
For
as
Olympics.
a continental fight-off for going to the Olympics.
Did you want to talk about the Olympics, Shad?
And that's at the end.
Because I don't know
It's
where
down
you...
here.
Oh, okay. All
Right
right.
near the end.
All right.
Yeah. So, in the U.S., as far as our performance at the World Championships, to wrap this up, over time, the last 6 or 7 World Championships, going back to 2011, our 2023 results were about the middle. Not as good as in the past when we had some of the Lopez's
Would you
competing.
hold that up so people could know which...
Yeah, I've posted these things before.
Yeah, it's all on...
Time series results by weight class, by weight division. Yeah, we got his ways to go. And it was Michael Rodriguez in the quarterfinals.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yep.
So
Who
good for
is
him.
also... We're not there yet, right? One of the non-supported top-ranked athletes in the U.S.
We can get to that, but thanks for reminding us.
Okay.
We can talk about
Did
it
you
now.
put that on the list?
I did not.
We must put that on the list.
Yeah, but it's down at with the top USA athletes right down there.
Okay, so
Top 22.
add
Non-funded athletes.
the non-funded athletes.
And I just wanted to say that Baku was KP&P, and Guadalajara was the infamous Dado.
Are we talking about Dado
And we're talking about points.
Okay.
Point scoring was up pretty much across the board in every weight class. Not every weight class, but most of them. In fact, the two most notorious ones, F57 and M80,
Did you show your chart?
which was on day 1. You don't even have to see the numbers. Here's, where's F57? Right here. Green, Guadalajara, red, Baku. Way more scoring in Baku in 57. Here's 80 over here, men's 80. Way more scoring. And that was because Dado totally bombed out on day 1 in Guadalajara and didn't get much better after that. It was maybe their worst performance, although this year the Grand Slam.
Yeah, it was a tie with Guadalajara.
Yeah.
I think. It was super, super bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just... Oh my gosh.
Grand Slam this year in China was just as bad.
It was. And
There was no chess scoring.
And they used Dado as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they did award most of the protested head kicks, correct?
Yes.
It's just...
But they
But
weren't
then you
awarding
lose
punches.
your card if a coach loses their card.
But they didn't like punches.
They were not awarding punches, which they usually do with Dado.
Yeah.
Because they already know, they're prepped to know that the chess doesn't work.
Yeah. And, it's not that much fun to watch a match where matches are decided by a few punches that are awarded, subjectively, and then the setter ref awarding gam jaws.
Yeah, but we saw several matches where all 3 refs had to go out and do their, decide.
That's not good.
No.
Let's have a better system. Anyway.
Okay.
You know what?
Oh, what?
In addition to Senior Worlds, there was Cadet Worlds.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. So Cadet Worlds, the USA, we won 4 bronze medals. Yay! That's a lot of medals for the USA.
That's really good.
And,
at Worlds.
it's not like Iran, which won 4 gold medals, 3 silver and 2 bronze. But, you know, we're not Iran. We're not Korea. We're not Russia. And a whole bunch of other countries. We got a long ways to go. And one of my big concerns is the pipeline. We got to get those cadet athletes staying into juniors, and then the juniors especially staying into seniors. The big drop-off in the U.S. is between juniors and seniors.
Yes.
And even some of the cadets don't stick around.
Nope.
After they win a medal or something at U.S. Nationals or the U.S. Open or something.
And why do you think that is? Our country versus other countries, we just keep losing all of our, like you said, the pipeline.
Yeah.
We're losing the pipeline.
Well, the stereotypical answer is that there's so many other sports in the U.S. that people don't stick with Taekwondo. But that's the same in a lot of other countries too.
Unless, what if they were funded like other countries?
Yes, there are national teams in other countries that support their athletes, maybe a bit more than here. But you know, now the academy is supporting an awful lot of athletes. So many that we don't even know who they all are.
We don't know. We actually don't know
The
any of.
They USAT. Don't publish
it. There's no data.
Here's a knock on
no
USAT.
Data.
They do not publish a list of their academy athletes or their other sponsored athletes.
Or
how frustrating is that?
Or how to become an academy athlete.
Right.
There's no pathway.
Right.
It's
talk about poor promotion. Like you gotta promote your athletes. You ever seen the Great Britain athletes? They're all over social media.
Well, I think they're trying now. I've seen like 2 videos at USAT that Sherman Nelson has done.
Right.
With like CJ Nicholas and.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the other one because I only saw the notification pop up because I'm subscribed.
But you know, we got
other than that,
CJ. Faith has had a great year. Madeline had a good year. Christina had a breakout year. Kalthani won Pan Am Games gold. You know, you don't hear anything about these people unless they do it themselves.
That's true. On Instagram.
And, you know, their efforts on their personal efforts versus the Great Britain people, Caden Cunningham, Lauren Williams, who's fading off, Bianca, who's everywhere every day with her husband, Aaron Cook, Jade, don't even mention Jade.
My gosh, I posted
Rebecca McGowan, Bradley Sinden. These people, they're all over social media. Come on, folks. We're Americans.
I know, Jay Jones, I posted uploaded a video on our WT YouTube channel.
Yeah.
20,000 views, and I didn't even promote it. I didn't like do hashtags or anything, and like all the other ones that I put got a few hundred. I think there was one with May Amata and Ashley Choi fight that got like 1,000 views.
Was that in Senegal?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fight in Senegal.
Yep.
Everybody even know where Senegal is?
Africa.
It's in Africa. That's close.
We
it's
know.
on the western tip of Africa.
I just remember Joseph's venture there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Joseph Sanderos.
Oh, I love that guy.
That guy's a character. Okay. We're down to nationals. Talking about attendance and stuff.
So we're not at Olympics and talking about the weight classes.
Not yet. We're at USAT
Nationals.
Nationals.
USAT Nationals.
Okay. This is continuing the theme of drop-off. So in addition to the cadet junior to senior drop-off, all of them are dropping off versus a few years ago. So you don't have to see these numbers again. You see these charts.
Attendance trends.
Here's cadets. This is over the last several nationals. This is juniors. Down, down. Here's seniors. Almost to 0. Plummet, plummet, plummet. And it picked back up again this last year in Florida. But, come on.
For men, not women.
Yeah, for men. Women was still really
Women
low.
was super. It's
It's
the lowest.
super low.
Second tight.
Yeah.
Maybe last year.
Yeah, so there were 32 female seniors at Nationals. 87 men. Okay.
That's pathetic.
Versus, so that's a total of 119 seniors. Back in 2015, 8 years ago, 318. Almost 3 times as many. What's going on? People are discouraged about nationals, I think. It used to be that got you in the national team. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. There's no pathway. People are very confused about the national team, the TOPS team, the academy, WCAP, which is no longer, I believe, a funded team. Athletes want to get to a funded to be able to, because it's so freaking expensive to go to all these tournaments to get the points to get on the team, And I know people like to say, we're not point chasing, we're not points. But we are still point chasing.
You don't point chase, you're not in the game.
You have to have the points.
Get in the game.
How the heck are you ranked? You are ranked via points.
Yeah.
So you have to be smart about it. And, we've done other videos on the point ranking system. But they discourage point chasing, but you have to. How the heck are you going to be ranked? But then even when you are ranked, it's like there's still... it's a mystery how to be on the academy, how to be funded, so that you can finally, get some relief out of your pocketbook from parents and coaches. And, I'm a big supporter of the GoFundMe accounts for a lot of these top athletes. We'll get to the 4 non-funded athletes that are doing extremely well, but globally and in the U.S.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway, I'll get off my
let's have
tangent
a
land.
slight shift of gears.
Yes.
We've talked about this before. Let's talk about it one more time.
Okay.
Because, people are questioning.
The attendance.
No, we'll talk about that. The WT. A year ago or so,
Oh, the 2 out
almost
of
2
3
years
round.
ago, they
That's
changed
great.
it to 2 out of 3 rounds instead of total points over 3 rounds. And some people still say, "Oh, I wish we were still back in the total points over 3 rounds." And that's
Well,
fine. Have your opinion.
Only one
But-
person. We know.
We know one important person who says that. Anyway,
But we like the best 2 out
so
of 3.
I've got a question for you, Stephanie. Do you think there was more scoring, more points scored
Yes. With 2 out of 3.
with total
Oh.
points of 3 rounds versus best 2 out of 3? You just said the answer. You just said
I believe so.
yeah, and it's not even close.
There's more points.
It's more
scored
than
in 2
35% higher.
rounds. So you're trying.
Yeah, again, it's just a table. You just look
I
it
know
up.
they can't see,
You
but to
can't
show that
read it.
you've done the data analysis.
Done the analysis by country, and across. These are Grand Prix events, and
In the you're talking about just USA or
no, this is all the big
All the-
countries across 3 different years of Grand Prix events using the same PSS system, but the old system versus the new one, and-
which is
which is
3 rounds versus best 2 out of 3 rounds.
2 out of 3 rounds.
Okay.
And
Which used to
scoring
be
is
a-
up over 35%
Since we switched,
since we switched, with only 2 rounds, and he might go to the 3rd round.
and that's with the
And that's
crappy
with-
dado.
And that's before Manchester. I didn't even count Manchester. We're going to come to that shortly. The Manchester Grand Prix had scoring. Okay,
Then they used dado.
they did.
That was the
Oh,
only
look.
time this year that we thought dado actually worked.
Oh, look,
Pretty
it's
good.
my next chart.
Oh, what is your next chart, Don?
My next chart shows these blue bars at the front. These are.
closer to the camera.
Let's go. Let's walk over here. See if I don't fall over because my did leg day.
I have to make sure it's
All right.
actually working.
All right, are we on there?
Yeah, that's
Can you see the chart?
Yep, that's good.
Okay, this is men's 58, 68, 80. This is men. Look at these blue bars. That's way more scoring. 42, 46, 86% more in M80 at Manchester with Dado. The Dado system worked. What's going on with that?
Because it was brand new and never been used before.
And let's look at female at Manchester. Oh, it's the same trend. Everybody's down here, all these other Grand Prix. Manchester comes along, 55% more, 64, 57, 77% more scoring. Who likes more scoring? This guy.
Well, any audience, the more scoring. Okay, I had to make sure that was working properly.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
It says.
So more scoring at Manchester, but then Dado's used again a few weeks later at the Grand Slam. Nothing. So how does Dado explain this?
inconsistent.
The inconsistency is frustrating.
And then they want to add a punch button on the chest. I don't think so.
Yeah, a punch button. Speaking of punching, we got more than 2, but we got 2 really good punchers in the United States. Faith Dillon,
Yep.
CJ Nicholas, and they won a total of 5 medals at Grand Prix this year.
So there's a correlation with punches and medals.
Yeah,
And being a good puncher.
yeah. And, for somebody that comes from a kickboxing background, there's one USA athlete who is a phenomenal
Christina.
Taekwondo athlete, but throws rabbit punches. Christina Ticha does this as opposed to the Taekwondo, which it might be hurtful, But the big scoring in Taekwondo is you got your elbow way up, the big Superman punch,
And yell
and you yell.
dramatically.
And you don't even have to hit him in the chest. You can hit him on the arm.
And she's so powerful.
Yay! Yeah.
I feel sorry
So,
for
come
her.
on.
Like, if she gets that arm back and
I want to see some more
if
scoring.
she starts scoring punches,
Yeah,
I feel sorry for the woman that she's punching. I feel sorry
Well,
for their boobs.
not to mention kicking. Christina teaches us a force. Force
She
of nature.
is. She is.
All right.
Oh, are we there on?
We're really close. Oh,
I want to get there.
we heard that. How did the USA do at the Grand Prix this year across all the events?
Okay,
We were 11th.
11th.
Yeah.
And that was
Similar to Worlds,
And why were we 11th?
because we did not score many. We didn't score any gold medals. A bunch of
Yeah.
other countries scored a whole bunch of gold medals.
Yeah, CJ got silver.
Yeah.
Faith got she got a silver,
No, Faith got a silver to bronze. CJ got 3 bronze,
a 3 bronze,
which is
okay.
fantastic.
No, that's great.
Fantastic. That's a lifetime achievement.
Yeah, the Grand Prix are
They are more difficult by far than the Olympics. Because you could have 2 Koreans, you could have 2 Iranians, 2 Chinese. You want to fight 2 Iranians and 2 Chinese? So good luck with that. At the Olympics, they
There's
might not
only
even
one.
be there.
Yeah.
Because they didn't, some quirk, they didn't qualify. And there's, only 16 athletes at the Olympics, and some of them are from Oceania, and elsewhere.
AIN.
Yeah,
Sarah.
well, maybe
We'll see.
we'll see. So yeah, Grand Prix are the toughest events.
They really are. And we
It's
have-
hard to get the Olympics. Harder to get the Olympics.
Didn't you say it's a lifetime achievement
It is
to
a
medal at a Grand Prix?
It is.
So congratulations,
So
Faith
Faith
and
Silver
CJ.
is the best U.S. result since the golds won by the 2 females that we had in the mid-teens. That I'm having a total
Lopez.
brain. No. They're
Oh,
back in the 10s. In the
Diana,
no. Anyway, let's move on.
the 49.
No, it's in 68, minus 67, and then heavyweight.
Oh, Galloway.
Yeah, Jackie Galloway's a
Jackie
heavyweight.
Galloway.
And McPherson. Paige McPherson.
Paige McPherson.
Thank you for that. Paige McPherson won a gold in it was 2018, I believe, at Taiwan. And Faith Silver this year, 5 years later, is the best result since then. CJ and Anastasia have only won bronzes. Silver's fantastic. All right, we're done with the Grand Slams.
Okay.
Oh, Grand Prix, Grand Slam. You,
Oh,
honey,
Wooksy.
how many Americans went to
Whoopsie.
the Wuxi Grand Slams?
0. Nada. 0. And I don't know why. I don't get it.
Yeah, there
Because
are 2 events this year. The winner goes to the Olympics.
It's a loophole into the
2
Olympics.
events.
It's a loophole into the Olympics. People, if you can't afford to go, do a GoFundMe. We'll promote it. You're a world-class athlete. I mean, we want you to go to Wuxi. I mean, who should have gone to Wuxi this year?
All kinds of people, but maybe William Cunningham.
William Cunningham
Yeah,
and Christina Teachout,
yeah, why not?
and maybe
Especially in '58, where Jendoubi, Tunisian Mohamed Jendoubi, won the first one. He didn't go to the second one. The points from the first one are diluted, and
well, explain real quick how that works. So
okay.
the Wuxi points are
totally
completely
different,
separate from
point
the
system. They call
but
them
it's-
merit points,
and they're accumulated.
accumulated across 2 events. 2 qualifiers and 2 events, and the winners for most of the weight divisions that went to this one in December are going to the Olympics. Vladislav Larin of Russia is a perfect example of men's heavyweight. He only did 2 events this year. He went to Taiwan for the Grand Prix. He won it. He went to he had to qualify for the Grand Slam, and he got a silver there because you only had to get the quarterfinals.
This is flag.
Vladislav Larin,
I call him
and
flag.
he won the Grand Slam. He's going to the Olympics.
He's
2 other Russians won the final, Tatiana Menina and Polina Khan, but unfortunately, Chinese athletes had already got enough points that even though they won, the Chinese athlete's going to go.
Well, isn't that the thing that we're not quite sure of? If you've got a country that already is in the top 5, and then they win the Wuxi,
Yeah,
that like, which one goes?
well, that's up to the country. So that happened for Turkey this year.
But isn't it supposed to be like a guarantee
No.
according to the WT rules?
No, it isn't, because
So the country can
the
swap
first
it out.
rule there is only one athlete per nation per weight class.
Okay.
In the Olympics, that's
So-
the number one rule.
So someone could be number one
Yes.
and then win the Wuxie,
Yes,
and the country could take the number one and go bye-bye and put the Wuxie one in
they could.
if they wanted to.
Yes, so example, Turkey could have done that. Turkey in F49, women's lightweights. Merv Dinsel is number 2 in the world. Had
The
a
screamer,
great
Merv the
year.
screamer.
It's great, Merv.
She's great.
So she is a top 5 automatic qualifier. Turkey sends this 17-year-old to Grand Slam, and she wins 49. So normally that would be a ticket to the Olympics, but no, sorry, Merv Dinsel is going instead of you.
Can I insert the 49 thing now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to discuss, because I am partial to the female 49s.
Why is that?
Well, it's because
How much do you weigh, honey?
it's my weight class. I actually did 2 ultra fights in 2018.
Yeah.
And I want a rematch with that Maria.
All right.
But our daughter also was F49, and briefly she was ranked number 1 in USA in
Yeah, yeah.
2019.
Good
But
for her.
that's why I'm partial to F49. And we have nobody. USA has no dominant 49er.
Dominant.
We have a lot of good athletes. We've got Montana Miller, Maya Mata, Lewis, Ashley Choi. But she's more 46, but she does do 49.
Yeah. Sophia Osagura.
Sophia Osagura, who's more 53, but can
Melina
do 49.
Daniel.
Yep.
She
Melina
went to
Daniel.
Pan Am Games, won a bronze.
And Lewis,
Kylie Lewis.
Kylie Lewis.
Went to Worlds.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got all these really good female 49ers,
Nobody's dominant.
but nobody's dominant. So, since Charlotte Craig.
Yep.
Yeah, she's.
She went to several Worlds. She went to an Olympics. She was an alternate Olympics.
Yeah, we haven't had any USA female 49er.
Yeah.
Since Charlotte Craig.
Yeah. And
Doing
part of it
well.
is it's the
I think it's the weight.
it's the height and weight combo.
Yeah.
Look at Panapak, most dominant athlete in Taekwondo. Panapak, Wongpatanaket,
Never misses weight. Always the same
5'8",
weight. And
108 pounds.
American women have a lot of problems keeping their weight consistent.
Right.
And that's, I think
That's the biggest thing, I think.
I could really go there because I had an eating disorder in my past, and your strengths can become, or your weaknesses can become your strengths. But I think it's a huge problem with United States females.
Yep.
And if anybody wants help, feel free to reach out and ask.
And
But
it's not just 49; it's also 57.
well, because they're very tall. It's the tall and the weight class. But it's discipline. I mean, you have to stay consistent in this sport, and you got to get control of your weaknesses for the ladies.
Right.
I don't see this issue with the men. I mean,
not
not
as
that it
much.
doesn't
We
exist.
hear about
but-
it, but it's not seemingly as prominent.
Right.
This year, we had 2 athletes in 53, female 53 and female 57, who could not make weight to go to World Championships, so they were replaced with an alternate. That's Anastasia and Michaela Greenwood. And Michaela has struggled to make 57.
Some of our 2 best athletes.
She apparently cannot make 57. It'll be interesting to see if she shows up on January 5th to fight Faith Dillon. Faith Dillon makes it every time. No problem.
No problem.
Way to go, Faith.
She's so consistent. I mean, I'm
And she's 5'8" or so.
Yeah.
Or 9.
She's extremely tall.
Yeah.
For her size.
Let's shift gears a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
do a little break and
Okay.
go grab
While you're refilling or grabbing another one, I would like us to say some things about coaches.
About what?
Coaches.
Oh yes,
We've talked a lot about athletes and PSS and national
you
stuff.
did some statistics on the top United States Taekwondo coaches.
Yeah, we did a mid-year and then a final top 50 U.S. coaches. And let's do a shout-out.
Look, hang on, before we do the list, I think you should let people know this is based on USAT's own database.
Right.
Okay, and what are the flaws with their database?
Well, the biggest flaw is that almost half of the athletes do not list their affiliation with a club. So they're
Or
non-affiliated, well, this year the USAT just dropped the coach column out of it altogether. So I had to go find the
So
coaches.
how much time? Just side note, he spends a lot of time on this data.
It's about 10
collection.
hours to put this together.
10 hours.
So, because it's just, there's like, whatever it is, 6,000 or more athletes. But, there's a lot of data there. And I just talked about black belts.
Yeah. This
So
is
my
black
top
belt.
50 coaches were black belts, including ultras and cadets and youth, I guess. if
And
there's
it's
any
based
youth.
on their points.
The points they got in the USAT system, they attribute to the club. And some clubs actually contacted me and said, hey, you're missing our other athletes. And I said, well, I don't know who they are. And so they gave me those other athletes. So they got the credit of that, and it showed up in the numbers. But almost half the athletes, almost all of which are probably in a club, are not listed. So please, coaches and managers of clubs, get your athletes to list your club in the USAT database.
Yeah, so you can get the credit.
So, number
Anyway.
one,
Number one,
Gus Villa
Drum
from
roll.
Villa's Taekwondo.
Via's Taekwondo.
Number two is Washington United, the big club up in Seattle, Tacoma. And then we're moving over to Dallas-Fort Worth with Sang Cha and NTA Taekwondo and Sports. Number four, team champions Bayside from New York with Andrew O. And then number five, United Extreme Martial Arts, Fabricio Rodriguez, also in New York. There's an awful lot of California clubs, but those New York clubs are really tough.
Yep.
Don't mess with New York. So anyway,
The coastal states.
we'll keep trying to improve this list. Congratulations to every single coach and club that's on it. Well done.
So you're not going to go down all 50?
No.
All right. But
That'd
you've
be a whole-
posted this, so
Yeah, it's up. It's
people
public.
know. Yeah.
And it was published by Mundo Taekwondo, who actually gave me credit. But there were some other clubs that actually showed, hey, look at me, look at our club. But they clipped off my name.
And
From-
took your data.
They took
Your 10 hours of
no
work.
credit whatsoever for 10 hours of work. Please leave my name on the spreadsheet or the picture. Thank you.
Yeah, because you do it for free, don't you?
I do
honey?
it for you.
For free.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
we love Taekwondo. All
Let's
right.
talk about the Olympics.
Yeah.
Next year, Paris,
All right.
August.
So, USAT had their meeting.
Several.
They've had several
We heard
meetings.
there's at least three.
They couldn't decide which, so explain how we only get 2 weight classes per gender, and there's only 2 genders, people.
So for the two genders,
Female and male.
male and female, each nation is restricted to 2 weight classes unless you qualify through the top 5 in the world. You could qualify in all 8 weight divisions if you got a top 5 athlete in every division. Nobody did that. Turkey came the closest with 5, 3 female, 2 male.
So there'll be a lot of Turks at the
Britain had
Olympics.
4, and so they're not qualifying any other way. They
What
had
about
4.
China? Didn't they have 5?
China had 1.
But
They
what
got
after,
4 through Grand Slam.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Grand Slam, everybody.
They got 4 more athletes to the Olympics through the Grand Slam.
They swept the female divisions and one male division because of the Grand Slam. They paid for it. They bought it. They got it.
Well, it's kind of cheating, but
Well,
China
they paid
did-
for it. They
it's
got
all right. China doesn't cheat. They just negotiated
it. Yeah.
with the Olympic Committee.
So, in the USA, you can have, since we only had one top 5 athlete, which is C.A. Nicholas, number 2 in the world in minus 80.
Yep.
So, we only allowed one other male class, which would have been either 58, 68, or plus 80. The U.S. picked plus 80. And it's pretty obvious that Jonathan Healy in plus 80, who's the actually only one qualified in M80, the only single male that fights and has got points and shows up.
He didn't show up to U.S. Open.
Yeah, he didn't. But he still had
Gee, I wonder why.
the best male result in any other weight class other than M80, where CJ and Michael Rodriguez did really well. If Michael Rodriguez had finished 1 place higher in world standings, he would have had a fight-off with CJ on January 5th.
Yep.
But instead of being 20th for the fight-off, he was
21st.
21st. Oh, tough.
That's heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking for you, Michael. Anyway, it's going to be men's heavyweight and men's just under that, minus 80 for the Olympic fight-off. Females.
Well, there could have been a fight off with Healy.
No. Nobody else qualified.
Oh, not even Woolen.
national champion does not qualify to get you in an Olympic fight-off.
Okay.
No, does not. It used to. Not
It
anymore.
used to, and I think it should, but I guess
Well,
not.
that's the dilution of the national championships. So, why are trends going way down for national championships? Because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
that much.
matter.
Okay.
Go to the U.S. Open, people.
Yeah. We'll see you in Reno.
Yep. It's important.
All right. So the female
Right.
side.
Yes.
49, 57, 67, and plus 67.
And what did they pick?
They picked 57 because Faith did fantastic.
Faith Dillon.
Best female performance of the year by quite a margin in the United States, Faith Dillon. And they also picked 67 over plus 67. So that really came down to a very tough. That's why they had at least 3 meetings. Because they're trying to say, Madeline won the Pan Am Games.
Yep.
She did great. She got the most points other than Faith. Christina Teachout won a whole bunch of medals in 67. And she's really fun to watch. Who are we going to go with? Madeline or Christina? I don't know how they made a decision because they probably looked at, okay, they're not going to the Olympics just because they picked those weight divisions. They have to fight the Pan Am qualifier to be gold or silver to then go to the Olympics. So I think Madeline was a lock to go to the Olympics because she dominates the Pan Am heavyweights. She won the Pan Am Games, and she won the Pan Am President's Cup shortly before as well, golds in both. Madeline probably would have gone to the Olympics. And then they're wondering, well, what about at the Olympics? And they're thinking, oh, well, did she beat any top 10 athletes this year? Not this year, but, Madeline's a great athlete. Then they looked at Christina Teachout. She's ranked like number 35 in the world, as opposed to Madeline, who's 11. But Christina Teachout defeated 3 top 10 athletes this year in her, G events. So that might have been the balance as to where they went with Christina. But she also has to beat Anna Zolotich.
I was just going to say that. I was going to bring
Why
up
is that?
Anna Zolotich because she's competing in 67 now.
She should be.
Minus 67.
They haven't announced who's going and what the bracket is because
Well, she has points in 67.
she qualified.
And Anna beat a top 10 athlete.
She beat Leslie Soltero, just like Christina Teachout did.
Right. So, but she's not on the bracket.
She did not. Well, they haven't shown us the brackets.
Oh, so we don't have that bracket.
It's secret. It's, it's a whole 5 days, 6 days away. So why would you want to know who's going? In fact, the athletes themselves, as of yesterday, didn't know who was going. 6 days away, you're fighting to get to the Olympic qualifier. You don't even know if you're fighting or who you're fighting. Come on, USAT.
But
Get your act together.
At least they're using KPMP.
Because the Olympics are KPMP.
Thank God.
The Pan Am, the national team next year is going to the Pan Am Championships, the G4 event. That's Dato. So on the for those fight offs, on the 5th, 6th, and 7th, they're using Dato. All right.
Hopefully they're brand new equipment.
Yeah. So, you want to talk any more about the Olympics?
No, but we've got Dato versus KPMP at the Grand Prix.
We did that.
We did that.
We did all that. We're all the way down here.
We're down here.
We're on here, the top USA athletes.
Oh. Top USA athletes and the non-funded athletes.
Yeah.
There's 4 of
So
them.
during last week, it was on December 19th, I put out a list of the top 22 USA athletes. Please take a look at it. It's listed by their World Taekwondo Olympic points. And so 22 athletes earned...
Not USAT points.
No, the USAT doesn't count in the grand scheme of things.
So they're top USA athletes with WT points.
Yes.
Okay.
Because those are the points that matter.
Okay.
You want to get WT points. So 22 USA athletes got 24 or more points, led by CJ Nicholas, nearly 270 points, 10th in the world. So yeah, still 10th in the world. But number 1 in the USA, he won medals at 7 of the big 8 events. Way to go, CJ.
Congratulations.
Fantastic year.
Great job.
Second place, Faith Dillon.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Silver at the Manchester G10. Put her way over the top.
Yep.
And then Madeline Gorman-Shore. We've talked about her.
Yep.
Jonathan Healy. Then Michael Rodriguez.
Well, and Calfani Harris.
And Calvani Harris was next at number 6,
Okay.
followed by Christina Teachout and William Cunningham.
Yep.
Rounding out the top 10, Ashley Choi and Caitlin Cox in 57. Caitlin Cox is an interesting case. She's a TOPS athlete.
Yep.
And so good for TOPS and the AAU for sponsoring the TOPS athletes.
Yes.
And Caitlin went to Worlds and the Pan Am Games because she earned those spots as an alternate and then to go to the Pan Am Games. And she won a bronze at the Pan Am Games. And this year she actually defeated Faith Dillon twice at 2 different events.
2 fight-offs.
2 fight-offs. Well, one was at the Pan Am President's Cup.
Oh, okay.
In
And the
Brazil.
other one was a fight-off.
And the other was a fight-off.
Okay.
But
Which it looks like there'll be another one.
no,
There's not going to be a fight-off.
because even though Caitlin Cox at the Pan Am Games qualifier defeated Fabiola Villegas from Mexico, who was a top 10 athlete, it wasn't an official WT
It wasn't
event.
a G.
It wasn't a G event because they didn't finish it. They only, fight to see who qualifies and they stop. So unfortunately for Caitlin, she beat a top 10 athlete,
But it wasn't a G
but
event.
it wasn't a G event, so she's not going to be able to fight Faith. And if she shows up on, if USAT invites her
To fight off.
to fight off, that's not right
It's not right.
because she didn't qualify.
No.
Too bad.
According to their own rules,
According to the rules,
she didn't qualify.
2 other people did qualify, Michaela Greenwood and Anastasia Zolicic, but I don't think either of them are going to be there. Although
Why?
Michaela Greenwood could maybe make weight
Why do you think they won't be there?
because they can't make weight.
Well, don't say they can't make weight. Anybody can make weight.
Oh, well, they haven't made
So
weight.
that's their pattern, but it doesn't mean they can't.
Okay, they can.
I'm sorry, I'm correcting
Yeah,
you.
way to go. Yeah, they can make weight. Just got to have the willpower, right?
Make weight.
Okay, so there's a bunch of other athletes on here. We've talked about a lot of them already. I think we've covered it.
So we did. Yep, we did that.
How about
Oh
the-
no, I want to talk about the top USA athletes who are. I won't say
Oh,
not
yeah.
funded, but they are self-funded.
Self-funded. How many are there?
There's 4.
There's 4.
Can you name them off?
Yes. Mike Rodriguez, who's number 5.
He's-
William Cunningham, who's
Yep.
number 8. Miyamata, in
Miyamata.
49, is number 12.
Isn't she tops?
And Keel Bonaventura, who's joined the Army, was number 18. And he's no longer apparently in Taekwondo because he's joined the Army.
Yep.
And is there a W cap still, honey?
No, I've talked to a lot of people in the Army that were involved with WCAP previously, and our daughter was involved in WCAP, and it looks like it's. I won't say WCAP itself. WCAP Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Looks like it's on hiatus or dissolved, or
Yeah, there's been no news.
no news.
It's
But
like it's USAT. There's no news.
but I'm like a sleuth. I go and ask people that I used to know that were involved and whatnot. So
Yep.
I
So Kafani may or may not still be in WCAP.
I don't think
But he's
he
at
is.
the academy.
That's why he was brought to the academy.
But WCAP made a press release with USAT saying,
Well, because there is still a WCAP.
yes,
It's just I don't believe there's a WCAP Taekwondo team anymore.
okay. Let's talk about the best Taekwondo athletes in the world this year.
Top world.
Just a couple of them.
Yep.
The single best performance
Show your chart.
by any athlete this year. I put this out about a week ago.
Is it for USA?
This is top 20 in the world.
Top 20
The
in the world.
world. Cheikh Cisse of Cote d'Ivoire.
Oh my gosh.
Did not lose the major event. Did not lose an event, except for one he withdrew from.
And this is in his new weight class.
a brand new weight class.
Because he
moved
won
up.
an Olympic medal in what, -8?
Yes, he did. He won gold.
Yeah. He won a gold in a
Highly
-80.
likely he's going to win gold in Paris
And now
next
he's
August.
+80.
And he's plus 80. Because he's nimble, he's fast, he's smart, he's a great fighter, and he's beating all these big guys.
Wait, I just have to do a little. Cheikh Cisse has his own foundation, and they have donated. I don't remember the number, but it's a lot of freaking money in thousands and thousands of dollars. And this is CIV, Cote d'Ivoire, in Africa. And so he has donated from his foundation a ton of equipment to the athletes and the schools out there to try to promote. Well, I mean, Cote d'Ivoire, how big is Cote d'Ivoire
I don't know.
compared to the United States?
I've been to the country next to it, but it's small.
It's
and the
small.
population is probably, I don't know, 30, 40 million.
And how
Guessing.
and how there's not a lot of Taekwondo athletes in
No.
Cote d'Ivoire, but they do well.
Yeah, especially since he has.
Yeah, and he's helping the sport.
Yes.
I mean, I'm thinking, hey,
Yeah.
CJ Nicholas Foundation.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's-
Fake
yeah.
Dylan Foundation, get some goals at the Olympics. You
Yeah.
know,
So it's similar.
let's help out the community here.
Yeah. Uzbekistan is doing a similar thing where their young guy, Ulugh Rashidov, won a gold medal in 21. And all of a sudden, there's this horde of Uzbekistan athletes who are doing great. So
Well,
that's what it takes in some of these smaller countries.
Cisse is a freaking movie star over there.
Yes, he
I
is.
mean, if you follow him on Facebook and his social media, he's just constantly promoting, and he's giving speeches at all these foundation meetings and what they're doing. It's pretty inspirational, and I don't see that happening here in the U.S. with USAT
Right.
or any of the top athletes or
Right.
anything.
So
Anyway, that's
Top
not a
female
slam. I'm just
athletes?
saying. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
let's talk about two female athletes. The one and only Panapak Wongpatanaket had the most points of anybody in Taekwondo this year, despite not even going to one of the Grand Prix.
She was amazing.
But she only got silver at Worlds because Merv Dinsel, the screamer from Turkey, beat her at
Beat
Worlds.
her.
She also beat her at another event early in the year. It was either the Belgian Open or something like that. I forget which one it was. But Merv beat her twice. So Merv Dinsel was named the Female Athlete of the Year for World Taekwondo because she beat Panapak. The previous year, the Kick of the Year was by the Mexican who luckily beat Panapak too.
Panapak is how old now? Like 26?
26.
And Merv is 17?
No. She's like 24 or 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, the 17-year-old's not going.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, F49 has the three most dominant athletes of any weight division, if you include Adriana Cerezo Iglesias, because
She's amazing.
those three are in the top 6 in the world.
Yep.
For most points. Wow. So we're going to wrap it up because you're going to make a shout out to some other non-USAT,
Combat
non-WT.
Taekwondo. Our William Finley, shout out to William Finley, won gold at the first.
Who won his fight?
Taekwondo, Combat Taekwondo, heavyweight. So he's plus 80. He also won nationals this year, a gold medal,
But he's not going to the fight-off.
he's not going to fight off. Not sure why.
Might be contractual.
We think it might be contractual, or they don't want Healy fighting him. I'm not sure. He wanted to fight Healy, but Healy did not go to the U.S. Open this year.
Right.
Don't know why. It could be injury. Who knows?
We'll see who shows up at the Canada and U.S. Open in a month.
Yes. But
Okay.
want to give William Finley congratulations for his gold in Bogota, Colombia. And I love Combat Taekwondo. I think it is the future of our athletes when they retire because there's a professional way to go. He won $3,000, but of course then so did Faith Dillon.
Yeah.
So
So
winning the
WT
silver.
is professional athletes as well, so don't say they're not.
Well, the ones that are funded.
No,
yeah.
they're all professional athletes.
If
If
they're
they're on a
funded,
team, yes, they're on a team.
if they're on a funded team, I
Yeah.
consider them
Well,
professional
all the
athletes.
internationals are.
Yes,
All of them.
yes.
Yeah. So the U.S. is just different. So I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done. And
Great
we're
2023.
Yep, we're
Thanks,
looking
honey.
for and great 2024.
Yes.
Happy New Year. We're looking forward to the Canada Open
Yeah.
and the U.S. Open. And
Yeah.
I hope to see you guys there.
Excellent.